I want to pray for you right now. You're in the desert. Be honest, we all are. 2020 has been a dry place. It has been a place of uncertainty. Not quite into our promised land. And hearing the reminders of our past behind us. This has been a year that we as a people, particularly people of color, have been reminded of our bondage like never before. We have heard the sound of Pharaoh chasing us yet again. How? We've been reminded that the right to vote could be lost. We've been reminded that we could still be hunted and shot down and killed. We've been reminded that we could still be destroyed, and how much we own and how smart we are has nothing to do with it. We have been this text. But God says, I'm going to bring you into a place of sustainability. I'm going to bring you away from your fear, and I'm going to fight off your enemies. And I am going to give you rest. And what we need to do right now is throw a party and dance in the middle of the desert and confuse the enemy. Because I want you to know, in the middle of a pandemic and an economic crisis, somebody's building wells for you. And you're going to come into a place of abundance because change is in the atmosphere. And all the people of the earth ought to rejoice, because the only person who ought to be mad is the devil. If you ain't drowning in the Red Sea, you ought to rejoice, because God is breaking the back of oppression and moving away the curse of the memory of fear, so that the slaves would not have to spend the rest of their lives on the run. That's why Miriam danced. It wasn't just that Pharaoh was dead. The threat of him coming up again was destroyed. God says, I will wipe out the memory of what horrified you. I got wells waiting on you and palm trees above your head. And if you got the faith to stand right in the desert and dance right now, I got the power to bring you into a place of sustainability. I got the power to give you equity. I got the power to break the yoke of your yesterday. And you will be many things, but you will never be that again. You will go through many tests, but you will never go back to that again. You will have much opposition, but you will never go back to being Pharaoh's boy ever again. That's why she danced. She danced because women are mamas. She danced because she knew her sons would not be born in captivity. She danced because she knew her nieces and nephews would not have to make bricks and change beds. She danced over the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. And so I'm calling for women everywhere to lead us into the dance, and lead us into the worship, and lead us into the prayer that breaks the curse, that tells hell you can't have another generation. Not another generation. You cannot have my daughter. You cannot have my son. You cannot have my grandchildren. You cannot have my great-grandchildren. I'm calling on the women to dance in the desert until yokes are broken, and dance in the halls of Congress, and dance all over the White House, and dance all over D.C., and dance all over the hospital ward, and dance in the emergency room, and tell hell you can't have not another generation. God God shut down the church so you could stop dancing in the church and dance in the place where the power is needed. In the hospital room, in the boardroom, in the courtroom, in the halls of Congress, in the White House. God wants your praise in the streets. He wants your praise in the alleys. He wants your praise out there where people need to see you dance in the desert. Why would we stay in here and dance amongst ourselves when the whole world has gone dry?